Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to PSGL Season 28. We've got 3 more rounds to go. We're on round number 8, and we are head to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. My name is Jess, and joining me, as per usual, we got Owen White. How you doing?
Hello, Jess. Hello, viewers. We are here in Suzuka. Very much looking forward to this. We've got a full wet quality. It's all going to be shaken up once again in the championships. We cannot wait for this one.
And potentially 6 drivers after the end of tonight. Maybe one of them could be leading the championship after tonight. That's how close it is in the standings. And even though after Gil DNF last week, he's actually still leading the championship, 44 points. And we had a different race winner last week. Suku, who took pole last week. He actually won the race this week. I don't think he's here tonight, though, which is a bit of a shame, which could throw the championship wide open. And we saw Luca getting P2, so a lot of different people on the podium. And we still have Lamborghini, who hasn't got any good results as of yet. But he likes the rain, so maybe tonight could be his night. Could we see Banner back in the action? And it's still also play for in this championship, with many drivers still in contention for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to say the rain, it just adds another element. This is full wets as well. So they're going to be feeling a lot of pressure. These S's are a nightmare as it is here in Suzuka, but this is just going to add another whole element to it. And, it's just another one of those races that are just going to mess the season up. We've had so many disrupted races with various different aspects. These drivers will be hating this, but we're absolutely loving it as viewers. And, yeah, I can see World Rally's actually at their entrance. Might want to keep an eye on him. I can't see that one ending well, but you never know. This is where risks could help out.
Yeah, this is like monsoon conditions, and if you're on a pad, especially on a wheel track around Suzuka in the wet, it just does not mix. So I'm a bit worried about some of the pad drivers, but yeah, World Rally is known for doing well in this track in the past, and he's did well in the rain last season, where it started off as a wet start to the race, and then it went dry, so keep an eye on him, yeah, definitely. So it hosted all but 2 years of the Japanese Grand Prix since 1987, first constructed in 1962. The track is 5.8 kilometres long, 8 to the left, 10 to the right, and only 1 DRS straight. Luckily, the drivers don't have to worry about the DRS straight now, because obviously the DRS is disabled due to this wet weather. But the only DRS straight is heading past the Casio Triangle into the final corner, so there's not really much overtaking spots, but you could get a move near 130 into the Casio Triangle if people are feeling really risky, which is majority of these drivers tend to do anyway. But we've had some good races in this tier this season, and I'm sure Japan will be a very good one. There's a lot of drivers slowing down in the final sector in the Casio Triangle. There's yellow flags there, so I'm guessing people want some clear air, but there's not many people that's going to get it.
Well, they're going to have to be patient, aren't they? This is a full-on traffic jam. Some cars are nearly stopped out there, but as you say, it's just to get the space. And I noticed that Balmer was being hyped up earlier by the PSGL account for having his pace. I wonder if that translates to the wet as well, because that'd just be typical. Try and predict something in this tier, look what happens. But yeah, some qualifying laps are underway. These will just be bankers, I'm sure. You'll probably see a couple of laps on this stint by the drivers as they get used to the track. Like I say, these S's are just a total nightmare as it is. So there's no way they'll get it perfect on their first time here. It's not necessarily going to be about the end of the session here. The best laps could come at the start here. This could get heavier to rain, you just never know. So every lap here is important. It's unlike other qualifying sessions this season. These guys have got to be alert every single second of it.
Yes, he's past the section now, Buzzers Banner. We did see one McLaren that went off there. Unfortunately, Banner has invalidated his lap time, which was probably by the second Degner, but he was a quali merchant last season in around Japan. He was, apart from the F2 champion, who is now in F1, he was second fastest with a 1:25.1, but we don't know what he's like in quali in the wet, so he could be absolutely different as Lamborghini set the first time on at the board. Let's find someone who's actually on a lap. Let's go on World Rally, like he said, on those inters. Is it quicker than we would have thought, or is it hard to drive around here? We shall see. It's not too bad, but there's going to be bits of track, but there's a lot of standing water where World Rally just probably going to slip. But he's in the 125s at the moment, heading towards the Casio Triangle, clips that right apex quite nicely. He's not doing too bad, but he's kind of likes Japan anyway, so it's not too bad. But it's actually 1 second slower than most of the guys actually. Quite a few people on the 140. So if the conditions get better, maybe Royal Rally would be good enough for P9 at the moment, or maybe even pole position. But they only get one set of wets and 3 set of inters, so maybe Royal Rally just wants to see what it's like here before he sets it on the wets later on, or maybe he thinks it's going to get quicker, but majority of lap times are quicker on the wet, so I wonder if he's going to go on to them later on in the session, or is he just happy on the inters?
I think the rain is looking like it's already starting to get heavier, so I wonder if he's actually thinking, if I set my time on intermediates now and the rain gets heavier and they can't beat it, then I'm in pole position by default. And he's gone half a second quicker in that first sector, so he is still finding time out there. This is still full wet condition. Maybe it will get lighter later on, but yeah, World Rally doing a good job, but you can see the rear end is snaking around so much, probably a little bit distracted by the Mercedes in front of you. You're always going to be worried about the traffic on a wet lap, because you just never know if you're going to be able to control your car to get past them. And we'll see what the split's like in a little sector if he gets there. A big drift, but as long as he keeps it going. Turn the ERS down, prepare for another lap, and that's what he's going to do. But yeah, this is going to be tough. I really don't know how this is going to go. It's all dependent on what the weather does, and right now, I really couldn't tell you what it's going to do. It's a typical thing, really. We're here once again saying we haven't a clue what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've been saying that all season as well, which was quite good to see as well. We thought, Lamborghini was actually going to lead the championship. Now he's not. He hasn't scored a point in ages. Bannon sets purple in sector 2, and he hasn't scored a win at all in PSGL. It could be his first race win in Japan if he hooks this lap, and he's P2, 139.3. So probably the quality merchant in the dry. He probably may be almost a quality merchant in the wet if Lamborghini didn't have anything to say about it. Most of these drivers are on 2 laps of wet tyres, mainly because you don't have enough wets to go around for the full quali, so they want to make the most of the wets they got, basically. It's not like the dries where you have quite a lot. You only have a few wet tyres to play for, so you got to really get your lap tucked in right then on those laps, because otherwise you're not going to have much tyres to play with. Caden Forbes is racing tonight. We did have 18 drivers, now we're on 19. Caden Forbes joined last minute, so that's great to see that he's available today. He's going through 130R now in the Red Bull. I can't remember what car he was in last week, but I remember last week he didn't have a really good race, did he? So he really, I think, really wants to get a better result around Japan as he heads towards the final corner. What can he do? Not as fast as everybody else, but again, it's a banker for him. 143.7 goes Caden Forbes up into P17.
Got BRT George, I hope I'm saying that right. I hope it's not some sort of different way of saying it, but either way, he's 6/10 up in the middle sector. The man in P5 might well become P1, taking that inside line, and he is nearly into the 1 minute 38, but certainly up front by some distance as well. That's a decent lap. A few of the guys behind are all sort of invalidating, struggling for pace. Hercules, purple I think that was, in the middle sector. Or at least the game popped up as purple. We know we can always, well, never trust it actually. So let's just watch the end of the lap and see. As coming through the last corner, I think Ascom went 5th, Ruben went 6th, and Hercules went 7th. So yeah, if it was purple, then he might have lost it in the last sector. There was quite a lock up into the Cashew Triangle. He might think there's some time to find in there. Rain still pounding down. Some people onto their 4th lap on their tyres. Wonder when they're going to start running out of fuel, because obviously that can't last forever. But yeah, nearly halfway through the session now, so that's where we are so far. Just over a quarter per second clear for VRT George. Good lap that.
Yeah, good debut for him so far as well. He's one of the new reserves as well. Hercules, another new reserve, but we also got, let's pick out a few, shall we? We got Dan Destroy, which I absolutely like that name. We were talking before the stream, and that's a very creative name. So fair play to Dan now. I think that's his name, Dan. So he's in the Williams, filling in for, it's not Haller because he's here this week. I'm just trying to see. Antoine, yeah, Antoine's not here this week, so he's filling in for him. We got Lucas in the Mercedes, who's currently in the pits right now. He is filling in for M-Shot, who's not here tonight. Caden Forbes is filling in for Suku, last week's race winner. Hercules is filling in for Simo, who's not here tonight. And George is filling in for Igoro this week. Igoro wasn't here last week either, so don't know what's happened to him, but at least we've got almost a full grid. Toxic Tomato, only driver who's yet to set a lap, and he's invalidated again. That's not good for him.
Yeah, Luca's gone P1 though. That's a good lap for him. I'm watching Benny right now. He's gone back out on intermediates. Not many people want to try these. We saw World Rally. He's down in 17th on them. Hercules finishes his 4th lap on wet, still improving up to P3. But Benny has nearly had multiple accidents on this lap alone. I mean, the rain is still pounding down. It does feel like wets are the better tyre, but if inters work just once is all you need. And that's the risk he's trying to take, because right now 14th place isn't really going to get him very far, but I'd be very surprised if he makes time up in the middle sector. Lucky the lap is still valid actually, because he went off at Spoon, and yeah, he's half a second off. Now is that half a second on his best time or half a second on P1? I guess we'll wait and see in a second. I think that's on his best time, which would mean he's not going to find any improvement on the first try, but obviously a bit like we see with the guys at the top, you're not going to do your best lap on your first lap, but he's not even going to try a second one. He's seen enough. He's into the pit lane. And as is most of the grid actually, there's not too many on new tyres. We've got World Rally who's 1.5 seconds up in the middle sector on his last time, so if he can keep that up, he might find himself near the front of the grid at the moment. So here he comes. No DRS, remember, just a blast to the line. It's P2, just 5/1000ths off his teammate. Good stuff there. Toxic Tomatoes had a spin, so that's not really going to help his lap out. And Caden's going again. And yeah. It's nice and close up at the front, but the entries they're not going to work.
They're not going to work at this moment in time. Just look at how heavy the rain is around here. They're just going to slide everywhere. So who would have thought we would have seen an AlphaTauri 1-2? That's just crazy between Luke and World Rally. But World Rally, his last win was in Russia last season. It was a wet finish to that race, and he was very, very confident in that as well. And he was kind of lucky when the rain came anyway, but he was very, very good in it. So I wonder if he's going to do well here today. He's not that far from Luca actually, so they're pretty even on pace. That's probably why they're teammates together as well. Toxic Tomatoes going on for another lap this time. He didn't invalidate heading towards Spoon this time, so he's looking good so far, but he's probably going to be in a bit more pressure because he's the only driver yet to settle up. Everybody's on the wets now, including World Rally and whoever I saw, Benny. So no one wanted to try the inters, it seems. They don't want to go for the gamble. So here comes Toxic coming towards the final. Nope, he's in the pits. Oh, Toxic, He's come
for a change of underwear, Jess. He had a massive moment in 130. I thought he was heading straight for the wall. He was on an in lap as well when he did that. And he had a spin on his flying lap. He is not enjoying these conditions one bit. And he's leaving it right to the death to get a lap in. That's obviously not what you want in this situation when everyone's putting in so many times. He's under pressure at the moment.
Yeah, I think everyone is under pressure as well because most of the guys have not improved their times apart from the likes of George's, Luca, World Rally potentially as well. So everyone who's going out now will be going out for their final runs because they'll be probably putting more fuel now and they'll do 2 or 3 runs on these set of tyres before they finish their laps because they won't be going on those tyres at the Grand Prix, even if it's a wet start to the race, I don't think. So we'll have to wait and see. No sign of what the weather is to be. We don't usually ask the drivers what the weather is because we want it to be a surprise. As do you in the chat as well. So we shall see. Ruben is back in the racing point tonight, who's going through the S's section now. He's currently sitting 9th fastest. I've just noticed as well, no one's going to have the advantage of alternate strategy today. Everyone's going to be on fresher tyres and maybe starting 11th may not be the best option. It doesn't matter where you start with, really, because you're going to be on free choice of tyres anyway. It's not going to be dry at the end of the session. So basically, just give it all you got. Try and qualify as high as you can. I think this is the only wet qualifying session we've had this season, isn't it?
I don't honestly remember, but we've certainly had wet races. That's sort of been the more prominent thing. We might have had 1 or 2 wet qualies, but this is certainly the most challenging qualifying session we've seen so far. It's been races, Jess. It's been races that have been wet.
Okay.
We'll have to look it up, to be honest. But
yeah, I know Singapore was raining, obviously, for most of it. But yeah, and actually, no, I don't think there was any wet qualifying sessions. So yeah, I think it's just me having a very bad memory. So it's been quite a season gone by pretty quickly. That's probably why. But most people are out on a lap, apart from Caden, who's leaving it out for the last minute, I presume. But I'm guessing that he doesn't want to leave anything to chance. But if you go out too late, you're going to be in trouble. One of my new reserves, Dan, he's come across the line in P1. He's flown under the radar all of a sudden there. 139.053, just around about 7 or 8 thousandths better than Luca and about 10 thousandths quicker than World Rally. So that was a shock that I didn't see coming as well. I don't know what his pace is on this game because I haven't seen him in a race. So be interesting to see how he does, but very, very impressed with his pace. Can he translate into the race in the dry? That's the thing. We don't know what they're going to be like in the dry. They could be completely different in the dry. This is shaking the order right up. We just don't know what they're going to be like. Imagine if they would have been in the 125s in qualifiers dry, but we'll see. Hadler, Dan's teammate, has gone fastest by quite some margin, actually, by 1/10 of 138.9. So the conditions are not improving. So it looks like Hadler has found some more time in his setup, or maybe he was more confident in the car or something like that. But yeah, Hadler has not won a race this season. It's been very consistent, still in the running for potential good position in the championship. So I think he needs a good race tonight, but he's looking good. So, and George's P2, their times are starting to go even quicker now.
Indeed, and we're in that final stretch now of laps. People crossing the line now are probably going to be heading on to their last laps. So pretty much everyone after Luca will be starting their final laps. I think Toxic Tomato's off into Narnia, so he's going to have to hurry on and get around to get one lap in, because he's got most of the lap to do. Like I say, he's been struggling the whole session. I'm watching World Rally at the minute, but I might actually want to start cutting back to people crossing the line, just to make sure we're not missing any of the big lap times before they come in, because that would be quite annoying. And I think they're all just sort of on preparation laps still. They're all just making sure they cross the line as late as possible. Fenny isn't. He's improved, but not by enough to make up any positions. Balner, only 11th, so he's got to make up a lot of time, because we expect him to be quite quick around here, thanks to the PSGL Twitter account. I haven't seen him in here before, so I'm going to have to go by that in their wisdom. God, many people are stopping at this last chicane. I gotta hope no one's on qualifiers. Look at Hadler, he's had to go right off the track just to make sure he's not ruining somebody's lap on them. They're still not finishing laps, these guys, though. Lamakina, he is on a lap. It's on for P1 as well. Can he hold it? Yes, he can. He's P1. We'll see if anyone else can improve. Hadler just starting his lap. George starting his last lap. We've got Fabi up to P3. Here comes the AlphaTauri of World Rally. He's not up by enough to compete at the minute, but let's see if he can improve further. He's up to P2, so like I say, not quite enough, but still not the end of the world. Toxic Matter did get round to start another lap. Lucas up to P6, not too bad for him. Eltink P1 by 2:10. That's a decent distance to be ahead.
Dan!
Yeah, Dan is up there too. Here comes the other AlphaTauri, Luca. Got across the line just in time to start a final lap, so he's probably going to be the very last one across the line to finish one. Here is Hercules. He's coming through the last chicane, the Cashew Triangle. Let's see what sort of lap he's going to end up with as he heads down the hill. Check the flag. P10. No quality, no reverse pull, not reverse pull, strategy pull, because everyone's going to be starting on the same tyre, I would expect. And Ruben's gone P8. Balliner, we know he's meant to be quick around here, but he's all over the show. Rear end, not agree with him. He's only gone P13 behind his teammate. Fenny's pitted, so he's not going to improve. Ascom is down by a significant margin, so I don't think he's going to improve. CC Brain's half a second up. That's not actually going to make him too many places. So he's going to find maybe another 10 for 2 to really see some improvement up the board. So here he comes across the line. Yeah, he's only gone P13. Not the end of the world, just not the best lap you've ever seen. Hadler, he's on a flyer. Here he comes to the flag, and it's P3. A few cars coming through behind as well. Fabi looking good. He's up to P2. Jeez, these laps are flying in, aren't they? World Rally's pitting. Luke is on a good lap. Let's see what his middle sector's like. If this could be pulled, but he's lost some time. Man, this is difficult to keep an eye on. Lamakina is slow. Lucas is slow. Will he get in the way of Luca? Don't think he will.
Nah.
Luca will come across the line. Let's see if he can improve as well. Stays P7. Eltink, he's very slow, so it's nothing for him. Might have held up Toxic Tomato, but he's still finishing his lap. No, he's pitting.
Benny
joined as well.
Invalidated.
I think I think that's us. That was a lot of laps coming in very quickly there, because it's not the normal end to qualifying, because everyone's doing multiple laps. But in the end of it all, it is KJ Eltink, who I believe is one of the 6 who can take the championship lead tonight. In fact, he's down in 8th in the championship. There's 2 more ahead of him, but they've either left the league or been promoted. So there's only actually 6 who can go to the top. He's the one that is 13 points behind Gil, who obviously isn't here. So if he finishes where he starts, he'll be going ahead of him at least.
Yeah, the top 2 is actually not here, Gil or Suku. So out of the drivers in tonight, Luca is the one that's the highest out of all the drivers racing tonight. So if I was Luca, I would really want to get a much better result to actually take advantage of that, because he can go ahead of them if he gets maybe another podium potentially as well. Lamborghini, Banner the same as well, with how close everyone is as well. This could not go well for Gil and Suki for missing this race. I don't think they wanted to miss it. But anyway, here's your results. We got KJ on pole. It's not his first pole position. He got one at one part of the season. I can't remember when. I think it was in Bahrain.
Round 1.
Yeah, round one, yeah. Yeah, that was his only pole position. Fabi in P2, he got a podium last week, keeping up his form, which is good. Dan, one of our new reserves, in 3rd. Then we got Hadler in 4th. Lamborghini in 5th. Can he get into the points this week? We'll see. Rob Rally in 6th. Luca 7th. Ruben in 8th. George is in 9th. And then we got Lucas that rounds up your top 10. And we got Hercules, Manolo, CC Brain, Banana, Ascom, Benny, Fenny, Caden Forbes, and Toxic Tomato round up your runners for today's race. Will it be dry? Remains to be seen, but they'll all be on fresh set of tyres anyway. So hopefully it's dry, and it is dry. So that's good news. And Owen gets to benefit from the quicker loading times this week compared to the last few weeks because he has a PS5. Lucky him.
Woohoo! Yeah. Say it like you don't have one as well. We're right.
I know, but I'm just I'm only saying that because there's a few people that don't. There's a few people that don't, so I'm trying to make them jealous. So
yes, PS5 is a big advantage for F1, by the way. So if you want to get good at F1, don't buy a wheel, buy a PS5. That's my tip for you. I'm not going to start league racing again, though. Like I say, I retired with a PSGL championship, so that's me. I peaked then. So I'll never
you've done
come
a Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, the mighty F3 championship. That was me. See it. But, yeah, I don't think we've raced on Japan that season. Luckily, because I hate Japan, I would have lost that championship. But I can already see on the main straight, everyone appears to be choosing the mediums here. I think is it medium to soft. Really, can you do that around here?
Yes.
It might be a bit of a.
Yes, you can. Yeah, yes, you can. It's a bit of a push, but I've seen a majority of people do it in the lower tiers a few days ago, so it is doable. But you got to really manage your tyres. So we've got quite a mixed bag actually. I thought everyone would go on mediums, but let's go through them. So we got KJ and Fabi on the mediums, Dan on the softs, Hadler, Lamborghini, World Rally, Luca on the mediums, and we got Ruben, George, Lucas on the softs, Hercules on the mediums, Manolo on the softs. We've got CC Brain on the mediums as well as Ascom and Benny. We've got Banana on the softs. He probably wants to make his way through the field quickly. That's probably why he's on the softs at the moment. They almost had to come in together in the formation lap. That's not what you want to do, lads. Fenny is on the softs, Caden Forbes is on the mediums, and Toxic Tomato on the mediums. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the softs, everyone else on the mediums. So I don't know what I would have done, but I'm almost certain if I had a free choice, I would have gone for the mediums as well. So wise move for those guys. But the ones on the softs, they need to get past the medium runners very quickly, and if they don't, then they probably made the wrong decision.
I think if you're on the softs, obviously what you're going to get is the advantage of the undercut. Assuming we don't get any sort of safety cars or anything like that in the race around that pit stop area, you should be able to pit a good 2, 3, 4 laps before the medium runners, and you'll be in all that clean air on better tires. So that's what they're aiming for. Especially as well, if you're Dan Destroy, you want to get off the line as well. So he's thinking get to P2 or maybe even P1 if it's a fantastic start. Lead the race, pit early. Make that time up on my new tyres and win the race that way. But as you say, not many places to overtake, only one DRS zone. So maybe the soft tyres will work. But I do sort of suspect it will be the soft runners at the end that will have the better chance. So it's really going to be more about the racecraft, if anything. Are you able to race people? Are you able to get past without any issues? I hope this is going to be a Japanese Grand Prix where overtaking is the main focus, because it certainly looks like it could be built to be one like that, and that's what you want to see. Forget all this, oh, I don't want to race you yet because you haven't pitted. Let's race today. Go on. Be nice to us. As we see the last few cars line up on the grid. Off Caden and Toxic Tomato. It's not lap 2. Not even lap 1 yet. Don't know why the game's telling me that, but it's fixed itself now. And when these 5 lights come on, we'll be ready to start the race. Here we go. It's L-Tink from Fabio. That's the front row. We are away in Japan. Look out for Dan as well with his soft tyres. Will he be able to be out the grid? Yes, he will. He's at the second place with 3 wide behind as well. Hopefully they'll get through turn 1 quite safely, because it is a difficult one to get through, especially if you're 3 wide, which a few of them are. We've got a few cars having issues in the midfield and a lot of contact as well. Ferrari into the wall. 2 Ferraris in incidents, actually. Separate incidents. I think there's some McLarens in there as well, and a Mercedes. Virtual safety car is out. Ascom's 1 in the wall, Benny 2, George as well with major front wing damage. Possibly the McLarens got involved in there as well, but they might have just got through safely. They did actually, sorry, yes, they're both okay actually.
Yeah,
I think it is only the 3 at the back who've got damage, so they'll get to pit. Hopefully the VSC lasts long enough for them, but I doubt it will actually. But yeah, that's 2 separate incidents. Unfortunately, both Ferraris were involved in them.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? It reminds me of last season in real life with the Ferraris not doing too good. Luckily, they're doing a lot better this season in real life, so... But it's George's first race. He doesn't know these drivers very well, so it's going to take a while for him to get used to, but I'm guessing he wants to go on the hards or the mediums potentially as well. But KJ getting a good launch off the line, so did Dan as well. So I think apart from that, not many major changes so far, because you hardly can overtake. This BSC is going on for so long right now. We did say it won't go on for long, but it is.
I think we're going
as they're speeding up. You've got to be careful they don't get a drive-through penalty, which none of them do, which is good news. We've got Lamakina, who's all over the back of his teammate Fabi. This is probably one of the prime overtaking spots around the circuit, but he's not going to do it yet. Wait until the DRS straight in on lap 3 is when people can really start to get the hammer down. Maybe into turn 1 potentially as well. We'll see Lamakina's pace. He really needs a much better result this week. Otherwise, he'll be out of this championship fight. And unfortunately, we've got the timing tower of glitches right now, so we can't tell where people are. All we know is L-Tink is still leading. And the 2 Alfa Romeos are still fighting on there. The only person not fighting is the Ferraris who are in the pit. So is Ascom as well. So those 3 are onto the medium tyres, which... it's feasible. I think you wouldn't want to go on the hards on this track. It's just not good, especially the understeery parts on the track in the S's. You just don't want to really go onto them much, really. So onto the mediums they go. Actually, no, Benny goes on the hards. Scrap that idea. I don't know why Benny's done that, but I'm guessing he wants to go longer on them. I'll need to double check how long they go on for, but Georges and Ascom will probably want to do mediums and then pit on softs at the end. But we'll see. You never know what could happen here. We've got another yellow flag. Don't know what that's for, but we'll see.
Yeah, what's he done, Ascom? He's stopped on track. He's got going again, but he might have just had a little spin, maybe a bit of frustration in there, but he's going now. It is worth pointing out the tyres on this track are quite unique, actually, because I haven't seen this in any other track where... maybe Australia's one, but you literally can go faster every single lap, no matter what tyre you're on, really. So Benny on the hards... not the end of the world. If we can get to the end, he should still be setting faster times at the end of the race that he will be setting now, if that makes sense. You don't get that at every track, but this is certainly one you do get that at. So you can push these all the way to the end and you will get purchase out of it. It's just whether it's enough on the hards, because you'll probably be able to do the same on the mediums as well and on the softs. So it's about really, again, like I said earlier, your racecraft. And if he gets another safety car, because he is more than half a lap behind the rest of the field, which is quite a problem. But yeah, DRS now gets enabled on lap 3. I think there was some action in the midfield, but they've all sort of kept it clear. It's going to be really this lap where it all kicks off for proper. The whole field down to 16th place is in DRS range, which means L-Tink might be looking at the mirrors quite a lot, because I have a feeling that Dan Destroy might fancy getting past L-Tink sooner rather than later, because he's saved his DRS up, as is L-Tink to be fair, but he's on the softs. He wants to take advantage of that. If he's in clean air while he's on those softs, he should be able to pull away, probably out of that zone, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think one person who was almost on 100% ERS last week was our actual race winner as well, so I wonder if Dan is having the same tactics as what Suku did last week, but he's probably saving quite a bit as well, but he's using his overtake right now. He's determined to get the move done, so he's going to at least. He's 3 tenths behind now. You got to get the move done now or you're going to be in deep trouble. Down 130. He's not going to go for the move there. That's too risky, he says. Cassio, maybe not. A bit of a slide there from Dan, but KJ's pace on those mediums is absolutely fantastic. Luca gets past Ruben into P7. Luca must be doing a lot better on those mediums, but here comes Dan. Down the right-hand side into turn 1. Nicely does it on those softs, and he's up into P1 of this race. I think he'll be looking for the undercut on every one of these drivers, and we got Lucas up into 6th place. Some of the soft runners are making their way through the field due to the DRS and the better doubters, but yeah, Dan, excellent job, but it was inevitable, really. He was on the softs. If he didn't get the move, really, then he was probably going to get held up by the likes of Fabi, and Fabi would have got past as well. Someone else has gone off. That is a Red Bull. That's Caden, I believe, or Hercules. I don't know who spun. Nope, it's Caden. He spun. So he's down into 15th right now.
Yeah, went up the S's. Got it a bit wrong. I think he might have been fighting with Toxic Tomato, but he's the one that's lost out regardless, whatever happened. But yeah, now Dan, his goal will be to break that DRS range, because he should have the pace to do so. And as soon as he breaks that gap, he should be able to pull away for a couple laps as well. Then pit, like I said, hopefully come out into a good gap. You can see where World Rally came out. He made a pit stop on lap 2. I don't know why that was. He might have had some damage or something, because he got into some new softs. And yeah, surely Dan will be able to make that work if he's in that sort of space. It's just what his regular pace is like, because you know what, these guys are actually sticking to him quite well. Even though there's only one DRS zone, that might be all they need just to hold on to him. 6.5 tenths at the minute. We'll come back to this in say 2 laps time and see where Dan is, because he should make time up on the S's, surely. Because they're all fresh tyres. It's not only is a quali war, and these are new tyres still. So Dan has that little bit of extra grip that he maybe wouldn't have had in a normal situation. And the gap up the hill, it's staying relatively similar. In fact, Eltink seems a little bit quicker, and so Dan maybe not giving it, you know, the full pace, but he's holding the zone up there. But I think he knows he has to get out of that DRS range just to make the strategy work that little bit sweeter for him.
Yeah, and it's a track as well where you do not tend to pick any penalty. There's only a few places where you can invalidate, so the penalty is not going to be the norm compared to some other tracks. So really, it definitely is going to come down to pace for Dan, but he's doing well so far. The difference between the softs and the mediums is about 6 tenths per lap, as Caden's gone off to a spin again. But I think Dan is just not using his pace to the potential, because we know how quick the softs are, and we know KJ is quick anyway, so it may just come down to pace for KJ at the moment. He's not quick enough to actually get past on this next lap, but we do see the Alfa Romeos fighting once again. We got Fenny that gets past his teammate because he's gone into Narnia. He's gone into a spin in Spoonker. Very easy to lose it around Spoon. I've done that quite a few times as well. Lucas, on the other hand, he's right on the back of Haller. He's saying, I want to get that move done now. Again, another situation where Lucas is on the softs, Haller's on the mediums. He doesn't want to get in the dirty air, because otherwise the tyre temperatures are going to be a nightmare going through the S's and trying to follow a train of cars, which is now turning into a DRS train. But he is staying behind for now. This train is absolutely growing right now, which shows that most people are actually quite good around this track. Imagine what qualifying would have been like if it was dry. I think it would have been really, really close. As Lucas, he's just holding on for dear life. He just wants to find a way to get past, but he just can't.
Yeah, it's frustrating, this, isn't it, for him? Because there's just nothing he can do at the minute. Stuck in a DRS train when you've got better tyres. Too risky to throw it up the inside, really, at this stage. He might try it at some point, but yeah, this is going to be frustrating him. Ruben as well will just be sitting there thinking, in the same situation, why is he not moving? He's so close to them. They're just sitting there sort of... Maybe they're just thinking about the pit stop at this point. Think about the pit stop. Think about what you're going to do then. It's not about the pace now for these guys. It's about the pace when they make that first stop. But still, if you can make any overtakes on the way, it won't do you too much harm. No overtaking up the hill. Back to KJ. Look at KJ. He is really fast, isn't he? I mean, Dan's not pulling away, and he's using his ERS as well on the straights. KJ, you could almost imagine him passing Dan on this main straight, and it would be easy, and he wouldn't get repassed. It just, the pace isn't quite there for Dan at the minute, as KJ just sits back. Will happily do that. He is faster on him.
Yeah, he is. It looks like it at this rate as well. And I think he's probably going to rely on Dan probably pitting next lap. As that when the pit window opens, he's probably going to pit either end of this lap or probably end of lap 8. That's when the predicted one's going to be as well. And then KJ just going to go at the front, have some clear air, not a problem. But he's going to be under pressure from Fabian Lamborghini as well. But yeah, I don't think Dan is too comfortable. Maybe his tyre wear is not too good right now. That's why probably KJ is gaining just a little bit as well. Same with the guys on the softs as well. But Lucas and Ruben, they're still fighting though. So I wonder if Ruben's going to get the jump first because he's in under more pressure compared to the likes of Lucas. But actually, no, I would say Lucas is because Lucas is chasing down the medium runners. Lucas is probably going to find it easy to get past the medium runners compared to Ruben because Ruben's got a soft runner in front of them to contend with instead of a medium runner. So Luca's got Luca, Fenny and Caden Forbes, the only drivers to get penalties so far. Hopefully we won't get any more just yet, but not many people using ERS, but we've got one person I saw that was on 40%. They must have been pushing a lot in that train, and that's the danger around here. If you use too much, then you're not going to have enough to last until the end of this race. Same with fuel really as well, as they're about to start lap 8. Nobody's going into the pits yet, so maybe next lap we could start to see people doing their first stops, or maybe lap 10 potentially, we don't know. It's a bit unpredictable due to the fact they're on fresher tyres because the pit windows are predicted to be on older qualifying tyres. But obviously it was a wet qualifying, of course. They can pit a lot later.
Yeah, I imagine they will be in about 2 or 3 laps. They'll be thinking about pitting on the softs because they don't want to spend too long on the tyres. I think they can do a few more laps without losing a massive amount, but they do have to maximise that time on mediums. That might be the sort of motivation to pit a bit earlier if they wanted to get one extra lap undercut. So maybe it'll be someone down the field that would try that rather than the race leader per se. But we'll see. They'll play it by ear. And it will be Danny has to make the first decision, I'd imagine, because he's holding this train up still all the way down to P12. A lot of strategy and all that. And I'll say it's quite fun to watch this train all the way up the hill. You'll see just how close they are. I'm sure you probably already noticed, but yeah, it's a mad view, isn't it? All those cars chasing Danny. Will be at least happy he's not going to be stuck in this train when he pits. That'll be one thing he'll be happy about. But yeah, let's see. What are they going to do on this lap? Because again, no one really passing. No one really close enough to do it. What about the pit lane? Who's going to go for the pits? Dan. Not going to be him. Will it be somebody in the midfield?
Nope.
Yes, Manolo's going to pit. So he's the first one on the soft to pit. We got yellow flags. Wouldn't this be a good time? And we've got a safety car now.
That's a Red Bull. That is Caden again.
Recovered. Yeah, he's recovered. Okay, so he'll be fine. So Manolo, he's going to go on to the medium compound tyres. We expect he should come out in a good spot. But look at that McLaren. Oh dear, that McLaren might go and mess this up a little bit. It's Toxic Tomato. The gap. Well, it'll be a good 2 or 3 seconds. He probably won't actually catch him before the rest of them pit. So actually, he won't lose out too badly there. So Manolo, he's not going to have all that free air. Everybody in that train now knows he's pitted, so he's going to take advantage of this and advantage of it now. Just to make sure you don't lose it on the cold tyres. And it should make him a position or 2.
Yeah, I think usually I find the mediums hard to warm up around this track in Japan, especially when you get to the S's as well. So you really need to warm them up as quickly as you possibly can, because otherwise you will probably get to a spin. So watch out for the ones who go onto the medium tyres, like Dan, like Lucas, like Ruben, and it will be a bit trickier for them. And then the ones who go onto the soft later probably will find it a lot easier because they warmed their medium tyres on the formation lap. You can see the Alfa Romeo, of Lamborghini just eager to get past his teammate Fabi. I wonder if there's going to be team orders from them, or I wonder if the team bosses are just going to let them race. No sign of Dan pitting yet, so he's not blinking, so he's going as late as he possibly can. Meanwhile, all the other soft runners are deciding, nope, I'm not following Dan. They're going into the pits now, and I'm assuming all of them will go on mediums. Is Fenny going to stay out? Nope, he goes into the pits as well. And obviously, while rallied, he won't pit until a lot later because he pitted quite early on for a set of softs because he had damage, I believe. But I'm intrigued on why Dan's staying out, because he's leaving it until the end of the pit window, which is not what I would have done. I don't think he was going for the undercut.
Lucas. He's jumped Lucas. He's jumped everyone. Manolo. So that's all his main rivals around him there. Sorry to interrupt on all that.
That's fine, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just he set a purple final sector as well, so he pretty much drove that like a qualifying lap. And look at him, he's overheating the tyres perhaps, he's sliding all up the hill. These guys on their undercut laps are giving it absolutely everything. And you can see the gap to his teammate Ballner. It's about, what, it's increased by a good 3 seconds in one lap of undercut. 2 laps of undercut, what's going to happen to Dan? You know that he can put himself right into play here. Maybe he won't pass Dan, but he should be a little bit closer to him. Let's see if his sectors keep improving, because we should be able to get some comparison. I assume Dan will either get overtaken or pits. In fact, here comes Elting on the outside of the Cashew Triangle. This is going to really complicate this strategy for Dan now. This is not what he had in mind, as he does get overtaken. So KJ into the race late. Dan will now pit, but he did lose time and all that. So let's see where he ends up coming out, because I fear he might have lost a little bit too much time for his own good. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm expecting he'll be onto the mediums again, but you got to look out for yellow flags for a start. Not really what we were expecting. I don't know why that is. Is that his teammate Hadler?
Hadler's binned it, I think.
On the straight. That's bizarre, isn't it? Never seen that before. Maybe there was a game issue, but well, here's Manolo. I bet he's done it. Oh, it's tight. He's been overtaken actually by Lucas. Is Lucas going to try and do it? Well, oh, he's hit him. He's hit him. I don't think there's any damage. But, well, there you go. Dan really did leave it as late as he possibly could, and it nearly didn't work for him. But now he's going to have to heat those tyres up. And they're all catching chocolate tomato as well. This is going to get dicey. I didn't expect that from Lucas, though. That was good driving for him, just to sneak his way past Manolo when we're all focusing on what Dan's going to do. I wonder if that surprised Manolo as much as it surprised me.
It surprised me, because I thought he was going to be right behind near Banner and where Ruben is as well, or even Lucas. So, yeah, I'm a bit shocked myself, but I'm guessing Dan, maybe the other drivers probably had a bad pit entry or exit potentially, or maybe their outlet was probably not as good. So maybe Dan took advantage of that. So, yeah, pretty good job from him. Can he win this race? Remains to be seen, because we've still got the medium runs we'll need to pit for the softs, and they're going to be insanely quicker at the end. We could have a safety car that could ruin it for all we know. So Dan is now going to have trouble getting past Toxic, and he does actually get past Toxic. Fair play to him before 130R. Oh, look at this!
Going through.
We got Manolo and Ruben going for a move there. We got Manolo almost going a move up past 130R. This is more like it, lads. People going for moves where you possibly can't overtake. They're still going side by side. Heading into the start-finish straight goes Ruben and Manolo. They don't want to back things up a little bit, do they? And Ruben stays ahead on Manolo for now. But that's some very good racing between the two of them as well. I wasn't expecting Manolo to do this. And so I know the chat will be going crazy if he gets a good result, but I'm not going to say anything more because I'm worried I've jinxed him. So, but he's in a good position at the moment. So great job to him, because he's had some bad luck last season and when he joined this season. So he's doing very well. But he's got his teammate Ballina, who we know is quicker than him on this track, who is prancing on him like a hawk at the moment. So let's see what he does.
Yes, he's lost a few positions, does Manolo, hasn't he? He could well have been up there near Dan. So as long as he keeps on track, that's looking good. But Lucas, he's looking fast. He's looking good. Toxic might have cost him a little bit of time now. This might be helping the medium runners out, because they're not really fighting too much at the minute. As you can see, they're still passing Toxic, these guys. Ruben through as a Toxic got onto the grass. He's all over the show, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't really know what that is, but as long as he's not taking anybody out with him, because nearly lost it 2 or 3 times, it's not already, and now Manolo's going to go for him, as it will probably Ballner at the same time.
Oh my goodness!
The closing speed. Ballner, yeah, he's just letting him through actually, so that's probably the more sensible thing to do. Just let the effective leaders go for it. Fabi was getting close to L-Tink through turn 1, but let's not look at that just yet, because Lucas is using his overtake. He's got plenty of it there to use. He's also got the DRS as well. Ruben behind these two set the fastest lap, but this could be the net lead of the race. Who knows? Lucas, close, but not close enough. He's wasted a lot of DRS there to not get by. That is advantage Dan there, really, that situation. And Ruben, of course, as well. He's closing up. He will have to save some DRS as well. Fabi just losing a little bit of time there. Meanwhile, up at the front, he might have had a little mistake. Really don't know how to call this, because the fighting that's been happening with the medium runners might have cost them time, but at the same time, they're still fast as laps being sent. So, yeah. Oh, this is going to be fun. I mean, I really don't know how to call this one. And I like this. I I want to see what the chat's saying. I wonder what they think's going to happen. Let me know what's going to happen. I shall be in the chat for a little bit, and I'll let Jess do some chatting. I want to see what you all think.
Yeah, let us know in the chat, guys. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts on this as well. But for me, it's going to be tough to call as well. I think in Japan last season, there was not really much fights going on, mainly because the championship was decided already. There was nothing much to fight for. Now they've got something to fight for. We got more battles. This is what we wanted to see all along, potentially all season. Well, we've been getting battles pretty much all season anyway from these guys. This is why we like F2. This has been going on for quite a bit between the Alpha and Mayors. We've got Lucas, who is edging by Dan. This is going to be insanely close. Manilo's dropped a bit from Ruben. We got Lamborghini, who's got past his teammate into turn 1, and he is up into P2. Fabi is up, that goes down in P3 as well. We got Banner that gets past his teammate as well into turn 1. And look at Lucas there. Lucas almost had the edge on him there as well. If he's not careful, he's going to have Ruben, Banner, and Manilo all over the show to try and get past him as well. So we could see more risks here. We got another yellow flag, which is Toxic, who is struggling out there today. I wonder if he's going to pit anytime soon, because there's a few more laps before they could go on the softs. So Caden, meanwhile, goes on the softs. That's a bit early, or is it? I don't know. 11 laps it lasts the softs. Yeah, it is way too early. So he's hoping there's a safety car, but by the way these drivers are racing, there isn't. So we could see a puncher for Mr. Forbes anytime soon, but we shall see. I'm liking this racing so far. No predictions in the chat so far. The chat is quite quiet tonight, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll get some predictions soon. But my prediction is I don't know who's gonna win.
Yeah, that's a wise prediction. I'm gonna copy you on that prediction. I have no clue. But yeah, Lucas, it seems always that he's got a chance to pass, but then doesn't do it. If that's him just biding his time, thinking I don't want to lose too much time, think about the bigger picture. Obviously, these two, they're both reserves, aren't they? And they're going to potentially end up fighting for the win. Although the super fast Balmer, we all know he's good right here, because PSGL told us earlier on their tweets, and so they have to be right about everything. We expect him to be in there as well. Ruben, he was fastest lap before Balmer turned up, so he's quick as well. There's always the potential that Lucas and Dan aren't actually the quickest guys in this train, and that could promote some racing later on. And then obviously the guys that they're taking the undercut on, they've been out for 4 laps now, these guys. So the leading pack, the leading 7, are almost certainly going to end up behind some of this train. It's going to lead to quite the ending to this race. And it wouldn't be the first time we've seen a race at Japan end in some sort of chaos. You always see it on Twitter, where they end up also close at the end. I need to watch more Japan races. People always think, oh, that'd be rubbish. Maybe not. Maybe we should give Japan more credit, because this is going to be brilliant.
I like commentating Japan and I like racing Japan. It always throws a spanner in the works. There's sometimes a bit of chaos, there's sometimes not. There's always some good battling, even though there's not much overtaking opportunities. It's just nice, really. As Fabi goes into the pit, so does Luca. Almost sped in the pit lane, Fabi there, so that was close. CC Brain also in the pits, but KJ stays out. But I know why Lamborghini is staying out, because otherwise, he's going to lose time to the double stack. But I don't know why KJ's staying out there. Interesting that. Hadler stays out too. So these guys are going to be on the softs now. So let's see where Fabi comes out.
There's Lucas. Lucas is
there.
going for this. This is a good time to do this, because he's realised he's going to be ahead of all these guys in the softs. He wants to be the leader, but he's in contact. He's going to have to back off from that one, but he's really putting down under pressure now. Now he knows he's jumped the people that he needs to jump. He's given it some. Yellow flag's ahead. I think there's a car up as well in the background, just recovering it there. Maybe it's just a little bit wide. That yellow flag seems to have cleared up, so no one in trouble. But this massive train has just got so much bigger, and it is Dan who leads it. You'll expect KJ and Lamborghini as well, and to fall behind it. Hadler obviously as well. He's sort of going to be sadly left to dread. There are some predictions now in the chat, which is great, but they might get changed every few moments, because these guys are so close. We've got a few people. We've got Connor saying Lamborghini to win.
Then he said Fabi. He's saying that any of the Alfa Romeo. Any of the Alfa Romeos. Let's go with that.
He's saying he wants Alfa Romeo. Man with funny name says, let's go Kaja, you mean KJ, as Ruben has a big slide. I might well open the door for Balmer. We got A1 Hoops right. He's got Lucas Ballner, KJ is top 3. So we got plenty of predictions out there. And we got Toxic Smiler getting shot. You'll have to see it.
I thought Lucas was going to go for the move then, but he did not. Meanwhile, the other soft front. Yep.
No, will they do any sort of overcut? So there's a little bit of fighting in here on this last lap. And look at Lucas this time. He's going to get the lead this time, surely. Or at least the net leader.
Inside
He's flown
this time.
by. And look at the guys coming out of the pits. Where are they going to end up? Because this is going to be quite congested. I think they've all come out relatively alive, which is good to see. And look at this trade. It's just like it was earlier. Like I said, this time we got a mix of tyres. Much older mediums versus lovely fresh softs. And we've seen the DRS is usable on that main straight multiple times today. Fabi has got to get by 3 people, really. Can he do it quickly? Can he do it efficiently? Can he do it without causing any accidents? Love it. Love it.
I love the different strategies. Some people on the soft, some people on the mediums. I like wet qualifying because it definitely shakes up the grid even more as well with the multiple tyres that people are using as well. You don't get this when it's a dry race. That's boring. We like to see more either mixed conditions in the quali or the race to make things interesting as well.
KJ, did you see that? KJ not wasting a moment, going by Ballner straight away, and he's now all over Fabi. They've got similar ERS there, Fabi and L-Tank. I do wonder if they're going to fight even before they start getting through these medium runners. This is... Oh, they're still going for it. Lamakina now. And CC3 and passing Manu. So they're easily able to get by these medium runners. And look at that. We got Lamakina trying out the inside. I think there might have been some contact. Maybe he just avoided it. He's tried to get by L-Tank, but he's more focused on Fabi. And they're all focused on the guys ahead. Oh, jeez, here we go. DRS. It's all closed. Not Fabi. Is he brave enough to go on Ruben? Not quite. L-Tank not able to really take much advantage. It's a Racing Point sandwiching a Alfa Romeo, and I could do some team play here to help L-Tank through. Obviously, Lamakina just in the background. L-Tank very wide, taking some different lines there. Just also close. Very aggressive stuff at the minute.
Yeah, with the danger of everything being so close, that could be a recipe of disaster, as almost something went wrong there. It may have been the lobby or anything like that. It is probably the lobby playing up for me, as the delta's mixed up for me there. But Lucas, I say, is running a very good race so far, but he's got Dan for company, he's got Ruben for company. Fabi could get... So it's just a recipe for disaster if things go wrong, and the train of cars could go into each other. The only drivers that are not in this fight are the ones that had damage earlier on in the race. The ones that are in the fight, they've had clean races so far, and they deserve to be in this fight, of course. And if they make one mistake, this could go wrong. We've got KJ going for it. We've got Fabi going for it. Let's go watch Fabi. He's closest. Fabi. Oh, it's a bit of a tap there. I don't think it was any damage, but they're still going side by side on the exit. Now heading into the Casio triangle. There we go.
That's not what KJ needed. That's not what he needed. His teammate to be back up the inside of Fabi, helping him out. Didn't really happen, but now he's going to get the toe. They're both going to get the toe. Both Racing Points chasing after Fabi, but then neither of them are going to get there. Oh, they could have handled that one so much better, but instead Fabi's got the advantage, and they've nearly headed Ruben actually getting a penalty and being mugged now by Lamakina. That did not work out for the Racing Point team at all.
Nope, it did not. And with them being so close together on different strategies, that's just going to be a bit of a one-hit wonder, I think, for these two as well. But if the soft runners don't get a podium, then they're probably going to think what could have been, really, to be honest. We may see a Monaco situation where it doesn't matter if you're on the fresher tyres. If you're the one that's ahead, you probably will get a trap position, as Fenny has left the session, which is not good. Hopefully he'll join back very, very soon. But Lucas still leads. Only 5 drivers still to get a penalty so far. Dan still doing very well in second position. Fabi, though, dropped a little bit to Dan at the moment. He was 3 tenths a moment ago. Now he's about 5 tenths. So he's dropped a few tenths, which is not ideal. But, you know, I think we'll see more of this as we get to the end of this Grand Prix, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. We don't know. We want to see some moves. Luca, though, 2 tenths behind Ruben. Not going to do it on this occasion. Could he do it on this entry into Casio Triangle? He's going to go for the Sen. This nearly went really wrong for both the AlphaTauri and Ruben, but they had no damage. Ruben stays in sit position, but look at Hercules as well. all over the back of this. Is Hercules going to do a double overtake on both of these guys? Are going to go 3 wide into turn 1. And look at that, Hercules is up into 6th position. That was very good. Well done.
How on earth has Elting done that? He's up into 3rd place. Has he done that on the exit of 2? If he has done, that could be the race-winning move, that. Wow. Elting is into 3rd place.
Yes, I saw the midfield and I did not see what happened to Elting. So Elting, bravo. 2 different people making 2 brilliant moves in the space of 1 corner.
He's lost 2 positions there, Fabi. He's gone off. That's what he's gone off.
Ah, right. That's probably what happened then. So Fabi, yeah, I think he's not closing up to his teammate now. Hercules could be all over Fabi now. Oh, this is very, very exciting. This reminds me of Bahrain Short, where it's just all so close.
It feels like it was either contact or Fabi's considered a stick. I mean, we didn't see it on the stream, sadly, but the first frame I can see of it, Fabi's practically sideways off the track. It's like he's had a little nerf round. So I wonder if Elting's had a little bit of contact or something, whatever's happened there. Fabi's lost position. But I was wondering how on earth he's managed to do that. It seemed impossible through turn 2, and it might have just been because of either a mistake or contact. We'll find out later on, but Lamakeen and I want a piece of the action. One of Connor's predictions for the win. He made a couple. Yeah, I'll probably be wrong with both of them though this race, because you know what, Lucas, we've got 7 laps to go, he's still sort of leading this race, you know. Let's not ignore these medium runners, they are sort of also leading this pack quite well. Let's see how long they can hold it.
Yeah.
2 reserves, aren't they, as well? This is a good audition.
Yeah, good audition for next season, of course, where they'll probably still have to do evaluation races anyway on the new game, I believe. But again, this gives the league admins and a bit of an idea on where to place these 2 based on their performances in the last few races. We've seen that with Lamborghini as well. He did well in the last few races last season. He got put into F2. So, you know, this definitely can be an audition for him. And Lucas and Dan, they're not under any pressure at all in this championship. They're reserved, they're only just racing for fun, and, you know, that's really helping him right now. Sometimes you be under less pressure, you usually perform well, and that's what these 2 drivers are doing. I would be absolutely worried on the edge of my seat if I was Lucas right now, but that is probably how different people approach. Some people may be calm, some people maybe not, but yeah, Dan is a bit more worrying than KJ at the moment, because Lucas has got a little bit more free air compared to Dan, whereas Dan has got a lot of top runners chasing him right now. Could be KJ soon, could be Lamborghini soon, anything could happen. No safety car so far. We've only had 1 VSC, I believe, so I don't think there is going to be a safety car. Otherwise, it would probably be too late, but anything could happen in Formula 1, and it sometimes does. They're just not taking any risks. As Lucas has gone a bit wide, could this be the chance for Dan to go for the move? He does not, but yeah, Lucas may be seen to be struggling at the moment, but Dan is on fresher tyres, don't forget though, so Dan is probably quicker than Lucas for the rest of the race, but we shall see. This is going to be a very exciting end to this race. I don't know who's going to do well at the moment, but KJ is looking very good to potentially climb up the championship. Same with Lamborghini, same with Fabi as well. And maybe not Lucas, because Lucas down in 7th, but we'll see.
Problem here for Lucas and Dan is that their ERS is so low.
Yes.
And I don't really see where they're going to be able to save that. I think right now, what's keeping these medium runners ahead is actually the fact that Dan still has DRS on Lucas. I think if Dan were to fall out of that, then it would be a lot easier for these soft runners, but it's just because Dan is able to keep that DRS on a guy that hasn't got the DRS. It's the typical DRS train, and even if these soft runners have so much better grip, they're either going to have to be really quick at that last corner, or they're going to have to start passing in different places. For instance, on the extra 130R, which is where Elting is closing right up on Dan, making a bit of contact, trying to go around the outside. Will Dan defend as hard? I don't really think there's much he can do, actually. He's not really been able to do anything there, and he's just sort of held it off to where he doesn't get any damage, because yeah, he's only a reserve. Maybe he's thinking more about that main straight, trying to catch again. But Elting had the DRS, that means that Lamborghini is now going to have a little look on the inside. And that might be where the race was lost for Lucas as well. Because, like I say, Dan, that was the one person keeping Lucas in the lead. Because of that ERS being so low, I can't see Lucas holding on to this one now. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we've had no major troubles, I would say, for the top 11 in terms of instance. So if it's going to be like this for the rest of the race, maybe it will be like this after next week. So we always seem to get stewards reports from this tier, and it always changes up everything. But hopefully not, because I would like to see. I don't mind who actually takes this win, because KJ was meant to take the win in Bahrain. It got removed due to the fact of his penalty that he got by overtaking off the track in Bahrain short. So this could be a legitimate win for KJ. Don't forget, he did take pole in Japan a few moments ago. So he's going to look to convert a pole into a win. Maybe get fastest lap as well, potentially. Who's got fastest lap? We'll check that in a minute, because there's still more battles to be contested. With George gets a penalty. Here comes Fabi. No trouble there for Dan. I think Dan's tyres are running away with it right now, and I think the medium runners are definitely dropping off. Toxic is out of the race. He's probably given up by the looks of things. It looks like he's retired from the pit lane. Biaz, he's not on the track, so yeah, he's given up there. To be expected. He's been at the back pretty much the whole race. We got the likes of Hercules is going to get down, couldn't quite do it. And yeah, the medium runners now are starting to drop off on the soft guys. So maybe the medium to soft strategy is the best way to go. So if there are any F1 people potentially are looking at this, they probably want to qualify outside the top 10 if it's a dry quali. But stay and watch F2. This is where the real action is at the moment. Another yellow flag in set to 1. That's probably Toxic retiring. Yeah, it is Toxic. So Toxic's AI is going. But Lucas still... I don't know how Lucas is still holding on to the lead. He's doing good.
ERS. Eltink and Lamborghini and Fabi and they've all used it. Everyone's used the ERS. So now it's actually sort of helped Lucas out again, because Eltink has seemingly used the ERS that he had extra to pass Dan. Same with Lamborghini and Fabi. And so that again sort of means as long as Lucas can just have a decent gap out of that final chicane, which is really the only place he needs it, maybe apart from on the exit of Spoon. But that's where he's sort of using his ERS to get out of the corner. Eltink will close on the slipstream, but if he had ERS, he would be able to breeze past, but he's not quite able to do so. 3 laps left only at the end of this one, and as I said earlier, these guys are going faster and faster every lap. It's not like the tyres are going to die on them as we lose Benny in the pits as well. They're going to be going faster and faster and faster as Hercules goes by Dan. They're having a very side-by-side fight. So this would sort of help Lucas a little bit as well. So it's not like his tyre's going to fall apart.
Here comes Luca.
And
he's taking the shortest run. Yeah.
He's 3 wide here. This is potential to go wrong.
Which he does not.
Good driving that. And CC Brain, Dan's off to Narnia. Will he hit the wall? I think he might have missed it, but he will fall to the back of the train, sadly. But that could have been a lot worse for him. And we'll go green again eventually. I don't think the yellow flags are for anything apart from pit lane stuff now. Manolo's pitted as well, so that's why Dan's still on the points. But let us say, they're going faster every lap, so I think that sort of negates the tyre wear a little bit. And that might be what's helping Lucas as well as the ERS. But I don't know. I could be talking complete rubbish, to be brutally honest with you. But I mean, Lucas is still winning the race. So F1 boys, you might have a bit of a decision to make here, actually.
Even though they're in qualifying now, they could have the stream on in the background, deciding on what strategy they want to go to in the race. Maybe they have the Jeffs watching as well. They have Jeffs, of course. So
well, look at this. It's P10 to P1 at the minute. So that's the benefit if you get the strategy right. But now Eltink's got that a little bit closer, but he's used all his ERS to do it. Is it enough to give him that shot at the victory? Let's see. I think Lucas has put his car in the middle of the track. That seems a not too bad place to be. And it's good defense as well to keep ahead of Eltink. What about the exit now for the racing point? Like I say, he's used his ERS up the hill, using what he's got left on the main straight, but I don't think it's enough. So Lucas putting the car in the middle of the track into that Cashew Triangle chicane seems to be the best way of getting this to the line in P1, because he's still there, and it looked so certain that KJ was going to get by. But this is a superb performance from Lucas. Can he hold on? Just 2 more laps.
I can't remember where he started. I think he started like P7,
P10.
wasn't it? P10, yeah.
P10.
So I've got to say, drive the day for me, because he was under the radar at the start of the race, and he's pulled off some great moves, and it all came down to the undercut. The undercut was what helped him get into the net race lead later on. So, and he did some overtakes in the process as well. So I have to say, this is probably the strongest performance I've seen from a debutant I've seen in a long time. So fair play to him right now. Not many people winning their first race in PSGL, and Lucas is going to probably add to that Paul very soon. But we'll see with KJ. He's probably going to spoil the party, but unless Lamborghini overtakes these two, we will have a potential different race winner, because Most of the...
Lamakina, he's closing as well. Oh, I don't know how to call this now, Jess, because Lamakina's looking proper aggressive, but Elting's closing once again. Oh my goodness me, we've got 3 deaths between the top 3. Elting, oh, look at Lucas moving across. Was that too much? I'm sure Elting might have something to say about it. As Lamakina gets close, Elting gets close. We're starting the final lap. Which one of these 3 is going to come through in the race lead? Lucas holds it at the moment. KJ's closing, he's moving to the outside line. Is he going to have enough momentum to get right outside of turn 1? He's giving it his best shot. Lucas will stay on the inside and the Mercedes is going to be a contact. Side by side towards the S section. KJ takes the lead. And Lamakina, what can he do about this now? Can he get up to the back of Lucas and get through? Can KJ pull away? It looks pretty good for the Racing Forward drive at the minute. Will Lucas hold it at P2? Oh, it hurts for Lucas, but if he keeps the podium, he should still be happy with the performance. But it's all about Lamakina now. What's he going to do? Seeing Elting pull away, will he try and pull any clever moves on Lucas, or will he just hold on to his position as well? Trying to fit to the inside line for the hairpin. Nothing working at the moment. Remember, the DRS is done
Fabi's
now.
off.
No one's going to get any DRS. Fabi has gone off. He will recover that though. Lamakina closing into Spoon. No way through. Everyone's used their ERS. Lucas has the most of these 3, but it's really not much of an advantage, especially when he's not got the exit on the corner on Elting. So he looks like he's going to win the race. Will Lamakina get up into 2nd place? He's not got enough ERS. They're all just following each other. They've got no power, each of them. So Elting making that move through turn 1 and 2 looks to be the race winning one. Lucas hasn't gone for it. Lamakina hasn't gone for it either. Elting's going to come out of the final corner. He had the win taken away in Bahrain. He's come here to Japan. It's Poland the victory. What a drive from him. Lucas in P2 on debut. Superb result. And Lamakina in P3 gave it his best shot, but just didn't have enough to get there in the end. And we're now finishing in formation. Look at that. It's like an Indy 500 start. We're reversing now. I don't know what's going on, but we're all crossing the line. Says how close they were, isn't it, when they were all having to stop for each other. But what an exhilarating race that was. Hercules ended up P4 in the end. Fabi 5th, Ballner in 6th, Lucas 7th with his penalty, Ruben as well 8th, Dan 9th, CC Brain 10th. That's your point score. His fastest lap I think went to George, who's now stuffed it. And he crossed the line. Yes, he did get fastest lap.
But you don't get a point.
All right.
You don't get points. It's outside of the top 10.
Well, yeah, it's got the... That's what I'm saying. It's got fast lap, but obviously the top 10 can take a point from that.
Exactly. I enjoyed that race. Japan always bring good races at PSGL, and today's no exception. Shame for Royal Ray, though, for getting a great result after his not too bad quali, but he snatches the fastest lap away from George, or at least he's got something to celebrate. Caden Forbes is actually going to finish a race, which is good for him, despite being a lap down, I believe, but that's better than not being a lap down. So we'll just wait for Caden and Fenny to cross the line, and that will be your finishes. We only had a few retirements on this Japanese Grand Prix. Well done to all these drivers. I don't think things could say the same next week when we head to Baku next week, but it was a good race, and the driver of the day in game has been given to Lucas. It's a tough call, but Lucas, we weren't expecting him to go up to the lead and pretty much stay there until the final lap. I think he drove a splendid result. I'm sure a lot of esports teams, a lot of maybe even the league directors will be thinking this guy will probably want to be in the higher tiers next season and when we go on to the new game. But the new game may be different. We don't know. But KJ takes the win legitimately this time. He didn't make the overtake on track, so he should keep it. But we'll see. And I'll let you take us through the race results.
So it's KJ who wins the race from pole position. Sounded simple. Trust me, it wasn't. He had to make that move in the final lap on Lucas, who had a fantastic debut. Really, those two were fantastic today. Lamakina P3, Hercules as well P4. Another substitute in there. Fantastic drive. Fabi 5th, Ballner 6th. Not too bad from 14th on the grid. Lucas 7th, Ruben 8th, Dan 9th. Another good debut. Shame about the mistake he made, but was still a strong performance throughout. Do not let the mistake draw away from that. CC Brain was 10th, Hadler 11th. Still don't really know what happened to him on that main straight. He just sort of
stayed.
He had an incident there. It's a weird one. We didn't see it. Manolo was in 12th, George's 13th, World Rally 14th. Shame for him there today. Caden 15th, Fenny 16th, Ascom, Benny, and Toxic Tomato complete the order.
Yeah, and still a championship to be decided out of all of that, and I can't even do maths. So KJ will get 16 points. Unfortunately, he didn't get the fastest lap, so that would put him on 40, so 41, 42, 46 point, no, 47. I can't do maths. 47 points, so that'll be ahead of his teammate at least anyway. Lamborghini, I think, will be leading the championship, but quote me if I'm wrong, but we'll just wait until next week, I guess, before we do the actual maths and find out who's doing well. But we are actually going to get into a situation where with 2 races to go, it's more than likely it's going to go down to the final race. In the last few seasons, we've either had a championship decided by now or the championship goes to the penultimate race. So this is going to be very, very exciting. And with the final 2 races going to be an absolute classic, I'm sure it's going to be brilliant. I think we've got Fabi that wants to have an interview. He has to go soon. No, KJ has to go soon, but we'll see if we can get KJ in at least. But who's your driver of the day? Who do you think has performed well?
Look, give it to Lucas because, yes, he didn't win the race, but do you know what? For a debutant to come in from P10, try a different strategy and actually make it work for the most part, impressive stuff. So I'd give it to him. But again, KJ as well, honourable mention. I know he won the race, he got pole. Good performance from him as well. Was needing that one, and he certainly performed when he needed to.
Yeah, if you were watching the race and you think, KJ led the race from start to finish. Nope, he did not. He actually had to work for it to get to the race win because he was on the mediums at the start of the race as well. So he was not on the softer tyre at the start, but at the end, he came to light and was absolutely brilliant on those soft tyres. So, yeah, KJ definitely honourable mention. So we'll just give it a few minutes whilst we wait for some drivers to go in for interviews. But next week, we head to Baku next week. I like commentating around this track, hate racing it. I know you like racing it, but I don't think PSGL has raced in Baku for quite a long time. So this is going to be the first one on this game. So I'm pretty much looking forward to it, but it's going to be a race of attrition, really, to be honest, really, next week. But I'm sure they're going to bring some good action nonetheless. A lot of overtaking spots, so I can't wait. I'm looking forward to next week. Should be a good race.
Yes, well, obviously, we've had our moments in Baku, which people have documented plenty of times, I'm sure. But, yeah, in terms of actual racing, rather than me screaming at people, it's a good track. I like it. Most people don't like it, so that means I'll have a good time next week at the very least. It should be good racing as well, because you've got a massively long sort of DRS straight as well, so it should be good. I think, I'm trying to remember the last race we had around here. Might have been the PSGL Esports Cup.
Yes.
And that one went right to the line, like literally to the finish line. It was a couple of attempts separating the two in the end, so it was a proper drive to the line. So we should get a good race there.
I think both cups, the Livid Cup and the Esports Cup, Casper won both races as well, and both of those races went down to the wire. So, I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, one he had to defend and one he had to make the pass. So he was on both sides of it.
Yeah. Here's KJ. We were waiting for him, so here he is. So finally, KJ gets the race win on merit this time without a penalty. So KJ, how does it feel to finally win a race this season? And was it long overdue, do you think?
Yeah, it took a while, but I'm happy to be finally at P1 after being so close many races. But yeah, I'm happy to be on top after a difficult race, say.
Yes, because you were putting under a lot of pressure against your teammate on track tonight, Ruben, as well as the Alfa Romeos, Lucas as well, Dan and all places as well. Did the wet qualifying help you decide what tyres to go on at the start of the race, or did you have the plan all along that you wanted to start on the medium tyres?
Actually, I didn't practice, so I had no expectations. So I thought I had a software, the good tire to start on. But then the rain come, and yeah, the alternate strategy I thought was good here, but in the end it was not. It was definitely not, and it's something I'm learning about. And yeah, the softs are equal to the medium, so it's really difficult to make overtakes.
Yeah, I've seen not many overtaking zones as well. Talk us about those final few laps where you were stuck behind Lucas as well. Was it very, 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 very difficult? And that pass you made on the final few laps, was really good, actually. So what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I was a bit low in ERS because I had to pass the other guys as well. But on the last lap, I just had to send it, and it was a nice move around the outside, and respect to Lucas for giving me just enough room. So really good battle, and I'm looking forward to more of those.
You're still in the championship fight. Not quite sure if you're leading the championship or not. If not, you're close enough to the likes of La Maquina as well, and the girl as well, who's not here tonight as well. Out of the remaining tracks, do you think that you have maybe an outside shot of still winning the title? Because this is the closest championship we've ever seen in F2 for a while, I think. So it could go down to the wire. So do you think you're still winning a shot?
Difficult to say. I got final exams coming up this week, so I won't be able to practice a lot. But I'm still going to do everything in my power to win it. But if I win it, it will be crazy because my start was really shit. The first 5 races was almost 3 points. So it will be amazing, but it will be difficult.
Points is points at the end of the day, showing that you've been very consistent. You've had one podium before tonight and obviously one pole as well. So you had a second pole to your name as well. Do you think you could get a good result from Baku? Are you confident that you're not going to get damage and bring too many front wings to next weekend?
I don't want to lose a front wing. No, it won't be either. So it's a street circuit, but I don't know. No expectations, to be honest.
Just like this week. So we're expecting a P1 from you, yeah?
Yeah. I will try.
Owen, any questions?
Just want to see, how did you get by Fabi? Because we didn't actually see what happened there. It seemed like he went off.
He lost the car coming into exit of turn 1. He suddenly loses it. Yeah, I thought. I take the free position. So I don't know what happened to him, but
Fair, that's all I've really got to ask, to be honest. But well done on the victory. I guess it's a bit long overdue, but good to finally get it in the end.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll keep it this time.
I'm not. I don't think I'm in any incidents or something. So I think I will be fine. I think I will be fine. So
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Best of luck for the remaining rounds of the season. 2 more rounds to go, and let's see if you could put the fight to the other championship contenders in the final 2 rounds of the season. So well done on your long overdue win. It's well deserved. Well done.
Thank you, Jason Owen, for commentating. Thank you.
You're welcome. So that is it then for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's been a very, very good race, I have to say as well. We're going to love you and leave you and let you enjoy the F1, F5 and F6 races that are on now in Japan. I'm sure it's going to be exciting as well. So we've got Baku next week. Now we've got Brazil, which will be the season finale. 2 more rounds to go. Still don't know who's going to win the championship. It should be a fun season to end on, I have to say. But thanks, Owen, for joining me once again. And we still don't know who's going to come out on top at the end of it. So it should be some final 2 races to commentate on.
Absolutely. As always, it's been a pleasure, Jason. Absolutely. Please be back next week, everybody, and the week after. Ignore F1. F1's full of sweat. We're here to have some fun. So enjoy it. We'll see you next week.
Yep, see you next week for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I almost said Baku Grand Prix. We didn't want that. But anyway, see you next week for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Have a good evening, everybody, and good night.